Have you ever found yourself staring at an ever-growing to-do list and you just feel empty? Maybe you feel constantly drained and yet you're unable to sleep at night. And you become irritable at even the smallest of things. In fact, the things you usually enjoy doing, well, you can feel like you're just going through the motions. Well, if so, you could well be in a state of chronic exhaustion due to long-term stress and pressure. Now, in the previous video, I'd outlined some common signs of what's known as emotional burnout if you want to check that out for more information. But today, I'm going to focus on how to manage it, look at some ways to get your energy back before it becomes consuming. And the first thing to consider is to be honest with yourself. Because as much as human beings can generally handle different levels of stress, we can only really do it in short bursts because we all only have so much capacity. So if you feel completely drained, it could be because there's been no let up in the pressure you're under. Now, whether that's from work or maybe other areas of your life, one way or another, there has been no respite. There's been no resting, no recharging. So be honest with yourself. You're tired. You're not a Marvel superhero. And that's okay. Now, some people find journaling helpful because journaling can help you to identify not only areas where you're under a lot of pressure, but also help you to identify triggers and patterns, both physical and emotional. And once you understand your triggers, you now have something to disarm. But journaling can also help if you're constantly overanalyzing or overthinking things. Whenever you feel overwhelmed, you can put your thoughts down onto paper, not only to help you make sense of them, but because they also tend to lose the power they had whenever they were running amok inside your head. And getting them down onto paper can help you make sense of what it is you're really feeling at that moment and to figure out what's actually going on, and also to explore your options. You can also use your journal just to vent or to celebrate even just a small win. One way or another, it can help get the chaos out of your head and make things feel a little more manageable. Now, along with that, seeing your own thoughts and feelings written down on paper can help you reframe things, because burnout can bring a negative, cynical outlook on things. For instance, you might feel like a failure, nothing you ever do works, nothing you ever do matters. Journaling can help you challenge those thoughts. For instance, if you catch yourself thinking, I can't do this, well, you could reframe it as, I can't do this at the moment. And in some cases, you might begin to realize, maybe this isn't mine to do in the first place. And this isn't about just ignoring your problems, but rather it's shifting your mindset from feeling helpless to feeling like you have some control. Secondly, seek out support, because burnout can have people feeling very lonely. The exhaustion and the cynicism might make you want to pull away from other people, even those that you feel closest to. But try talking to someone, especially a good listener, someone who won't just offer a quick solution or a piece of cheap advice. Talking to someone can help calm your nervous system, make you feel seen, make you feel heard. Because sometimes all we really need is someone to listen while we just let it all out. So schedule time with people you care about and people who care about you. Don't wait until you reach breaking point. But if you don't have someone to talk to, or if talking to someone you know feels a little too difficult, then consider reaching out to a counsellor. Because not only will you feel heard, but you might learn some new tools and strategies that could help with the burnout. And remember, there is no shame in asking for help. Actually, it's the opposite. It's a sign of strength. Thirdly, recognize your limits and set your boundaries. For instance, if the stress is work-related, then this could be having to set a healthy separation between work and personal life. It could be recognizing and sticking to your actual working hours, which means maybe no checking emails late in the evenings, sometimes saying no to additional tasks. In our personal lives, it could mean letting other people do the things that they're more than capable of doing for themselves, and maybe not volunteering to help out as much. Basically, it means learning to say no once in a while, and saying no isn't selfish, regardless of what some people might tell you. Rather, it's about being honest with both yourself and other people about what you can handle and what you can't. Because some people might think they're only asking for a small favour, but they have no idea how much you have to deal with at the moment. So if you find it hard to say no, then practice. And start by saying no to things that maybe aren't that big a deal or aren't that urgent. If you still find it difficult to say no, then maybe buy yourself a little bit of time. Don't put yourself under pressure to answer straight away. Maybe say things like you'll think it over, you'll check your diary, or whatever, because this can give you the space to decide whether or not you have the time or the capacity. And as I always say, whenever people learn to respect your no, they begin to appreciate your yes a lot more. But also, you could set boundaries with your phone, because the constant notifications can create a low-level stress that never lets your brain rest. So maybe turn notifications off. Don't respond to every message you get immediately, only the ones you consider to be important or the ones that you have time for. And if you need to, maybe try a little bit of digital detox. Agree with yourself that you will check your social media notifications for maybe about 15 minutes a day at lunchtime, or maybe half an hour in the evening or whatever, because this can help give your nervous system a chance to calm down and reset, which can be important for fighting that deep exhaustion that often comes with burnout. Next, make your self-care a non-negotiable. This means taking care of your basic needs that affect your mood and your energy. You try to get a good night's sleep. Start eating healthily, not just comfort food or convenient junk food. Try to exercise regularly, even if it's just going for a walk for about 20 minutes a day. This can help lower your stress and boost your mood. Some people, they find relaxation exercises like mindfulness helpful to try to reduce their stress as well. But also, make time for the things that you enjoy doing, the things that bring you joy, that help you to rest or to recharge, the things that help you feel fulfilled, things like your hobbies or social activities. Number 5 is to build resilience. And this isn't just your ability to keep on getting up every time you get knocked down, or to keep on persevering regardless of how you feel. Rather, it's your resourcefulness, your ability to navigate through and around difficulties. It's your ability to adapt and to grow by becoming mentally and emotionally strong to deal with difficulties, even difficulties such as other people's reactions to your no. And like I said earlier, it requires being honest with ourselves to acknowledge our own limitations, but also to be flexible in our approach to things, and this can involve being open to change. For instance, it could be letting go of rigid expectations and being able to prioritize other things such as our own self-care and our boundaries. We build resilience in different ways. We learn from experience, we learn from what works as well as from what doesn't work, and we learn to prioritize ourselves once in a while. And lastly, pay attention to yourself. What is it that's draining you? What is it that also gives you energy and motivation? You learn what or even who your burnout triggers are, and you learn to deal with them more effectively. Do you recognize when you need a break? What is it stops you from having a break? And if you do get a break, how do you spend it? If you're struggling, don't just wish something could be easy. Rather, think about what might make something just that little bit easier. And what one small thing could you do today that you might thank yourself for later on? And lastly, maybe learn to give other people permission to be disappointed when you have to say no, because even one small step at a time can lead towards a life of balance and a bit more energy. So there are just some ideas to help manage emotional burnout, which is something many people experience. Now, as always, I'm sure there are many things I could have added, but if there's anything you have found helpful in managing burnout, please add them in the comments section because someone might appreciate your advice. I'm Darren Magee, and if you find this topic to be helpful, please consider subscribing to my channel, and until next time, thanks for watching.